Hi, Kerry again with Best of Us Investors. I guess you'd call me the chief of the tribe. I've made some decisions over the last couple of months. I want to grow my channel and I want to serve my tribe better. So I've decided that how can I help them make better investment decisions? Well, in order to do that, they need more information and they need better information. So how can I get them better information? What I've decided to do is create what I call our Platinum Discord. It's a group of people within our tribe that I'm going to spend about $70,000 over the next year to get them more information and better information. And what I'm going to do in this video is explain to you how I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to take you and introduce you to Wes, and I'm going to show you an integral part of what this is all going to look like so that our first objective can be achieved more efficiently, and that is to make better investment decisions. So that's what this video is all about. Stick with me. Let me share with you. This is not financial advice, and then we'll get right at it.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
So again, I want to say that the platinum level of Discord is built around a group of people who want to make better investment decisions. And I looked at it and said, how can I help them? Well, I share my knowledge, but I need to share more people's knowledge. I need to tap in to the gurus that are selling their advice, and I need to buy it. And then I need to create a system by which all this data, all this advice is analyzed and brought down to a digestible level so that my members of my Platinum Discord can then, I can present it to them and they can make the better investment decisions. I'll then ask them to help with adding to the guru's information, which I'm buying, and bring us to a level of decision. We will also monitor these purchased portfolios to see how they match up with each other and how they match up with our objectives. And then on a weekly basis, we will decide on a group of stocks that we want to dig into further, and we want to bring technical analysis into it. And that's where Wes comes in. This is Wes's specialty. Wes is a young man who has been in this business for 10 years and has developed a system by which he analyzes stocks and he searches for buy-in points. So he's a swing trader. I'm okay with that for a part of my portfolio, but then I want for some of my big buys, I want the best price. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce you to Wes, and I'm going to ask him to analyze a stock that I talked to you about on March 27th. It's called ASML, and I want to know from Wes, based on his technical analysis, what is my buy-in price? What should I buy it now and write it up, or is there a better price to get in? And that's what I want Wes to do. And I'm going to share this with you, but from this point on, I need to be open and upfront. This will only be shared in the future with future stocks that we analyze from the gurus and from the tribe with tribe members. It's going to be only for members of the platinum level of the tribe. So let me introduce you to Wes, and this blew my mind, and it was a tremendous learning, and I want you to see what Wes can do for you. So this is the introduction to the service that we're going to be providing through our premium or platinum Discord. And what I'm going to do is we're basically gathering the knowledge from the gurus and from the tribe. And this stock came from an introduction from Homer, ASML. And so now I want to buy it. So now I'm leaning on Wes to tell me where is the attractive buy position and support it. And then he's also going to take us and give us a look on how his technology has served him in the past. So, Wes, take it away.
Well, thanks, Kerry. I'm glad that you brought this to me because I do have a buying point for you. And this is based on the methodology I use in everything that I analyze, whether it's a stock, it's cryptocurrency, it's a futures contract. I like to buy things half off. Do you like to buy things half off when you go to the store?
50% discount.
A 50% discount. I know a lot of technical analysts, they like to look for moving averages and things like that, but I've gotten really, really simple over the years. I like to look at something that is half off, not necessarily 50% of its total value, but when price of typical instruments, when they tend to trend, they always pull back. You don't know where, you don't know when, but they pull back. And I know a lot of people like to use Fibonacci numbers and things like that, but that's too complicated for me. My brain is only so big. I like to look for 50% retracements. And so when you ask me to look at ASML, I can find that number for you. And it's the same number that's happening right now in a lot of different stocks. Because what we had over the last 2 years was a major trend, and ASML is no exception. And so we're going to take a look at the screen right here. I've got it up on TradingView. And what's going to define the trend that ASML has been under is the bottom of the COVID low, which we all remember, all the way up to the all-time high that it made, along with a lot of other stocks back in November. And a lot of stocks are doing the same exact setup. So what I'm going to use in TradingView is the Fibonacci retracement tool, but I'm going to take out all the extra stuff. And I'm just looking for the 50% retracement level. And so if we measure from the bottom of the COVID low up to the all-time high, which is set September of 2021, I can analyze this trend to see where is that 50% level. Now, the price of ASML got down to, looks like 557 in early March. Didn't quite hit that level, which is 543.59. But that is still going to be my level that I'm going to look for. I wanted to come back to this level, and at that point, I consider it a good buying opportunity. And so we may need to be patient for it to maybe come down another leg. There's a possibility we may not get it, and we'll have to look at a breakout of the all-time high. But I really feel like the risk is elevated up here. I want it to get it back down to a level where I can understand it, and I can then gauge my risk properly. So I think we'd be chasing it if we just jumped into it right now. But if people want to be in it, then you can. I'm patient. I am patient enough to wait until it pulls back to the proper 50% of this trend. And I want to show you some recent examples that they're not just, hey, look at this in the past, this would have worked. No, I posted this live on the Best of Us Investors Discord. So, okay, well, recently, there was a very interesting event that happened in a stock that I really wanted to be in. I know you probably like this stock. That is Amazon, right?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. I got very aggravated with myself because there's a lot of stocks out there, and I try to be really diligent, but I can't watch them all. Amazon, it, just like everything else, had a low right here on COVID, just like everything else did. And so if I start my measurement from this point, the COVID low, up to the last all-time high in July of 2021, this is the weekly chart that I'm looking at right now.
Okay.
On March, that halfway point from the COVID low up to the all-time high in July of 2021, that was 2699.56. What's that?
I said, I'll be damned.
Yes.
It came down to it.
It doesn't always happen, but it happens enough for me to put together a working strategy. Let's just put it that way. And it hit it on March the 8th, which was 2 days before they announced their stock split.
Huh?
I did not have an alert there. And so it's good that you're putting in that alert. I've encouraged so many people to do this. Go look at the COVID low to the all-time high. Most stocks have made this back in November of last year, but different times for different stocks. That is the defining retracement level, the defining entry point for the last 2 years. It's really been setting up in the last month on this, correction we've had in the market. So it hit this level, and I only noticed it after they announced the split, and the stock was up pretty big that day. Let's go back to this in time. So this was the day that they announced the split, March the 10th, and I think that Amazon was up about 5%. And at this point, I'm kicking myself. I've missed it, or that's what an older me would have basically said, or an older me would have maybe jumped it into here. But I decided to be patient. Let's dig down a little bit lower. I operate under the philosophy that if I see a setup, a 50% retracement level on a higher time frame, a daily or a weekly, I should be able to see that same setup on a lower time frame. It helps me be patient. So from that low that it made on March the 8th up to the high of this split hype, I drew out the 50% retracement level on a lower time frame, the 30-minute chart time frame. And then I waited, I set an alert there, and then I finally got an entry on March the 14th. So rather than jump in chasing it on March the 10th in the hype, buying it at around 2,900, I waited, I was patient, and I grabbed it when it hit the 50% of this recent catalyst, keyword catalyst, okay? Because we're going to circle back to ASML, and we're going to talk about what happens if we miss it. And so from that point, I was able to buy Amazon. And by the way, this is not just me looking back in hindsight. This is on the Best of Us Investors Discord. I don't think enough people have been reading my channel, Norok Trades, but I've been posting all these trades live as they occur. I've been looking to get into Amazon for a long time. I have it in ETFs, but I don't own enough of it individually. This was the opportunity. And it's one of my highest conviction trades of the year, because as May, I think it's May 27th, is going to be the split. In the last 2 years, the two stocks, Tesla, NVIDIA, and Apple have all had these pre-split rallies. Yeah. But I digress. We're talking about ASML. Yeah. The point here.
Let me ask you something.
Okay, go ahead.
Again, what is the terminology you used within Trading Views that gives you this study? What was the name of that?
Okay, so I call them, and this is my terminology for it, 50% retracement levels. Okay, let's just bring
something you clicked over here on the side.
Right. Let's just go back to ASML since that's the topic, and we'll redraw it. So what I've done is this. Over on TradingView, on the left-hand side, you have the third column down. You can do a lot of these different Fibonacci's, channels, Gann boxes, all these different analysis techniques. And most of the time, when you do a Fibonacci retracement, when you first open the platform, it's going to have a lot of these extra lines, these extra Fibonacci levels based on, the theory of using Fibonacci retracements. As I said, my brain is only so big. I want to keep it very simple. And what I find is that, a lot of people, they want to use all these lines.
I see.
That's too much. It's crazy. I just use the 50% pullback level, the 50% retracement level. What I do in this tool on TradingView is I take off all of these extra lines.
And you've just checked the one that says 0.5.
0.5, exactly. Gotcha. And that is all I do.
That creates this blue dotted line.
Correct.
automatically. You don't have to do
Exactly.
any calculation. Oh, okay.
Right.
All right.
And you should be able to do this in any trading platform too, if you can take off the extra numbers. And it basically lets you measure the major trend and then look for that pullback there.
I see. I got you. All right.
So, and actually really quick on ASML, we can go back and look at how this has played out in the past. So ASML, when we weren't looking at it, it has also had a lot of these similar opportunities. Like, for instance, you say you just discovered ASML in 2018.
Mhm.
Well, it's just undergone a major trend. Now, we could buy it at 220 and today we'd be okay,
Mhm.
but we would potentially take a big drawdown. So if we look at this trend and we watch it pull back, this is a weekly chart, by the way.
Mhm.
So we had to wait a little while from July of 2018. I drew my 50% from the low it made in January of 16, and boom, it hit it in December of 2018. You remember that? Remember that
Yeah.
anti-Santa Claus rally, that
Yeah.
taper tantrum we had? That was an opportunity. And all that was going on in the market just brought this one stock down to its 50% retracement level. And from there, well, the rest is history.
Wow.
And so it works often enough that I have built the foundation of my strategy on these levels. And then again, if we look at the COVID low, which was another crazy event,
Mhm.
it was a very volatile event. We take it from the bottom that it made in 2018, December 2018, up to the high that it made. Again, it went below the 50% because nothing's going to be perfect in trading.
Right.
But that was a much better opportunity to wait for than trying to catch it anywhere on the way up.
Yeah.
And so half off is what I like to buy anything. And so that is the foundation of my trading strategy, is basically that.
Wow. You sold me. Fibonacci. A new word for me.
Yeah, well, it is a very well studied technical analysis style using Fibonacci levels, but I just simplified it down to just use one, because if you start looking for all these different Fibonacci levels, I feel like you confuse yourself a lot.
Yeah.
And this just works often enough that I don't need to use the others.
Okay.
So.
All right. So we got our price on ASML. And I got to tell you, Wes, I never would have done this. I would have said, okay, I want to own it. So I'm just going to go in and buy it. And but you've just convinced me. I'm looking at it and saying, my God, everybody's going to realize this is a no-brainer, and it's just going to keep going up. But you've convinced me, because there's another thing that I look at is there are some gaps in the past where on a daily basis, and I'm going to go check my gap chart, and I'll bet you your 50% is going to cover that gap.
I hope so. And if we'll circle back real quick, if people feel like they miss it, if you feel like you missed it, if it keeps going, remember back to the Amazon example.
Yeah.
Wait for a catalyst. Now, I don't know what is going to be the news catalyst for this stock. Maybe they'll have a split, maybe they won't, but they will definitely have earnings. Yeah. And so if you wait until you have, say, an earnings announcement, like you've got an earnings announcement, I believe the 20th coming up this month. Mm-hmm. Let's say that this thing pops up on earnings. Okay, it's bullish, it's going up. Set your 50% level on the lower time frame. Look at the 50% of that move and then try to catch it on that move back. Okay. And that could also be a good opportunity.
All right. Well, this is cool. And this is a whole new scope for me. And I really want to learn more about it. So what Wes and I are going to do is within our premium platform of Discord, we're going to use the gurus to guide us into stocks, as well as the other members of the Discord. And then we're going to come back and say, okay, this is a stock I want to own, but I'm not going to use Carrie's method of throw money out the window and just buy it because I want to own it. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to do some technical analysis and see if I can find a primary or a better buying point. If I can't, I can't. but we're going to look at multiple stocks, and this kind of analysis will only be available through our Platinum Discord. And we're charging $60 a month to do that. Drew's doing all the work. We're paying him to do it. And then both Wes and I are going to get paid to do it, as we should. And we're all going to learn to make better investment decisions using other people's skills. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Wes?
Just want people to trade wisely. That's it. So hopefully this helps.
Okay. Okay. I hope you understand the process. We're paying for data, for information, for knowledge from the best investment gurus who are willing to sell their knowledge to us. We're then, and I'm paying for it, I'm then hiring an analyst to go through that data and put it in a digestible format on the Discord. And that will be for members only at their discretion and at their time. Then I will analyze it, and then I will pick a series of stocks that I want more technical information, and Wes and I will do a private video. It will be for members only, and we're going to gain an advantage. That's the simple truth of it. If I go to Las Vegas, I only play in one place, and that's at the poker table where I think I have an advantage. Truth is, I don't go to Las Vegas, and second is, I don't play poker. But if I did, I would only do it if I knew I was the smartest guy at the table. And that's what I'm striving to do as an investor. And that's what I'm striving to give you as an investor. Knowledge and value of other people's experience so that you have more information and better information to make better investment decisions. And that's our number one goal. Number two is to keep more of what we make. I hope you saw my video the other day on how to use a Roth IRA to build wealth, tax-free wealth. And our third goal is to pass $12,250,000 on to our heirs, unless Joe and Elizabeth Warren get their way and they take it away from us. But for right now, that's goal number 3. And goal number 4 is I'll talk to you again tomorrow.